Welcome everybody. It's been a minute, but we're back. Just got back from Power Sports Expo 2026, Mesquite, Oklahoma, and let me tell you this: that was awesome. That was a great show. Can't thank Jason and Cassie so much. I mean, can't thank them enough for allowing us to come out there, get some content, and hang out with new and old friends. So, uh, still kind of reeling from that experience. It was a blast. It was a long weekend, but a blast, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
I had a blast. I definitely enjoyed myself. The I don't know, I don't know. Expos are kind of weird because you get a little bit of everything. I thought there was going to be more because it's a power sports expo because this was the first time for me. Um,
well, it was the first time I went. We didn't get to go last year, so
so I kind of went in it not knowing what to expect. Got to see a little bit of everything. There was vendors from all over the industry.
everywhere,
You know, there was
everywhere.
there was products there I didn't even know that was out.
Mm-hmm.
So got to talk to a couple of different vendors, bringing their products to the market, and was super impressed. Um, you
Yeah,
know, and,
there was a couple
and
standout products that really stuck in my head and made me
uh,
think, possibilities for my machine and going forward just in general.
just products products for the industry in general. There's a couple of super cool products that are out on the market that I don't think a lot of people know about. Um, got to see the Ride and Chill in person with his Raider Razor. Um,
Yeah, so that's one of the products that really stood out to me. And you know how I feel about AC? I'm kind of like I've got my toy and I've got my HVAC. So, but that being said, after talking to him, we do have an interview coming up. We did an interview there at PSE with him. Uh, I'm struggling getting everything to convert properly because for some reason it's not. But that video will be coming out shortly. It'll be on the YouTube channel.
yeah, super impressed. You know, it's a newer product for us sport guys, sport side by sides. You know, to have an option to have AC in our buggies.
Yeah,
Um,
talking to him, it truly is universal.
oh, absolutely. So, you know, and for him to take the time and to explain what's all entailed for doing AC into one of these buggies, that one of these sports buggies, or even a Ranger or a Defender that didn't come with the HVAC setup, you know, because his system does heat and AC. Um, is super cool. So, and then talking with a couple of different other vendors that's out there and bringing their products to light. You know, it just shows us that the industry is growing, and it's not just new buggies coming out. You know,
Right.
there's products that are coming out for everybody, whether you got an older machine or even a newer machine. So
Yeah.
makes it super cool. And then, like you said, we got to hang out with some old friends. Cabo's term the Pawpaw Gang.
Right.
Um, I do want to send a shout out to Alan and Angel from Triage Garage, Junior, and his wife Christina. And don't get mad at me because I'm horrible with names. Everybody else that was hanging out there too for their hospitality, for feeding me and putting up with my ugly mug.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know,
Their
and
hospitality is bar none the best.
absolutely.
They welcome everybody with open arms.
Uh, well, and this isn't the first time that they've opened their camp area to us and let us hang out and feel like we're part of the family.
Right.
They've done this numerous times for us, and I appreciate it every time that they do it. and then hats off to Cabo and Trey, because they're very accommodating and great people to hang out with too. And then of course Anthony and Kelly from Elite Power Sports.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, they were also they made sure we had food in our bellies. So Pastalaya the first night we were there, and then Angel and Alan and everybody there, stepping up for night two for Saturday, making sure that we did not leave hungry.
Right.
So, um, but hats off to them, and Alan and Simon and everybody doing the Battle of the Builds. That seemed to go off without a hitch. So, um, it's definitely a great time. I definitely enjoyed myself. Um, Alex says I got RBF all the time. It might not look like I enjoyed myself, but I enjoyed myself.
Right. Well, that and everybody was excited to see you because you haven't been to any of the Battle of the Builds yet this year.
No, it's
Uh,
and life happens, and that's pretty much what we I had the conversation with everybody. He's like, look, you know,
Life.
we all understand, life happens. We all have regular day jobs that we all go to, and
Well,
we have
some of
to
us do.
um make accommodations, to try to make some of these events happen, and it's just been a little lacking on my side. So I apologize for that. But I got to meet some new faces and shake hands. What is that? The presidents go around to all the candidates go around, kiss babies and shake hands.
Oh, I thought it was shaking babies and kissing
That
hands.
might be for me. So I might take that as just shaking babies and kissing hands. So
Yeah, no,
I'll steal that one from you.
yeah, no, it was it was definitely a blast. So much. I did not realize that we had gotten as many interviews as we did until I started downloading videos and going through them, and I'm like, that's an interview, that's a race, that's an interview, that's a race, I ended up with a bigger list than I thought. I thought I only had like 4 or 5. Yeah, I got a couple more than that.
That's good though, and like I said, got to meet and conversate with some different people that we normally don't see in the industry, and it's kind of nice to talk to a few people and bounce some ideas off of people and get a different perspective.
Yeah,
So, these,
talking to the guys over the what is it, a TQR?
yeah, those guys over at TQR, bar none, probably some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah,
Um,
like just
just
bouncing ideas off of him about cages and stuff like that. Like that guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I just happened to swing in there because they had a Kawasaki H2 sitting in there. I just wanted to look at one because I haven't seen one in person yet.
Right.
So, and just started conversating, and it just kind of one thing led. We conversated for what, at least an hour,
Yeah, at least.
you
I mean,
know,
we stood there for a
uh,
while. It
you
got to the
know,
point where Melissa was like, "All right, come on."
super, super nice people. But it's one of those deals, and that's what I love about this industry is the majority of people in this industry are they want to have conversations with other people, and it's a great way to bounce ideas or even get answers to questions that you might have. Everybody's super, super nice about it, and I would say probably 98% of the people, 99% of the people in this industry, they're more than happy to answer questions if somebody has them. And then, not only that, the two different meet and greets for all the racers, that was
Yeah,
super awesome too, especially for the kids. Like, I think I was talking to Mallory, or hell, it might have been somebody else, but I think it was Mallory, about them doing the posters for the kids at the meet and greets, and getting all the racers to sign their individual buggies on these posters. It to me it reminded me of Monster Jam, like taking the kids when they were younger to Monster Jam. Do you go around and meet all the drivers? I think that's super, super cool. And then not only that, the drivers taking time to talk with everybody and take pictures, and having their buggies all set up for display for that. So that's super, super cool.
yeah. And having the little parades, I know we weren't there for it, but they did a parade through downtown Muskogee on Wednesday night, uh, and then got the community involved as far as that was concerned, and then right before the races started, they did the parade of the big machines out of the expo center,
Mhm.
and then over to the track. So, doing stuff like that really gets the crowd involved and allows people to see these machines up close and not just see them on a track.
Well, no, and
That's
just
all stuff I enjoy too.
absolutely. And then even with the races going on, you got Cabo, Mouth of the South. Hats off to her. Hope she's feeling better with her wrist slash forearm. And then Cody Wade, the banter between those two, I think is on point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was exciting. I didn't listen to a lot of the banter simply because I was doing my own thing trying to get footage and stuff. So, the stuff I did listen to, I was laughing, cracking up.
So,
So,
but
but yeah,
is
no,
there?
a lot of the products were just there was stuff that I didn't realize. Like I'd heard rumblings that somebody was thinking about doing this or thinking about doing that, and then you get there and you actually see it out on display and go, "Hey, yeah, we're ready to do this," or "We're in the process of doing this." This is the prototype. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. Or we've already got this on a few test machines. Like that's the cool stuff about these expos that I really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not just products for side by sides. You had Lost Riders app was there.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
promoting
So
the Lost Riders app, let alone the Extra Seat app.
well, and that was the deal. This weekend they launched their newest app, which is the Extra Seat app. It's the best way to explain it, and I wish Scott was here, and I wish he would have gave me a big old sheet of, hey, say this, 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 but I don't have those. The best way I can explain it, because I went ahead and put the podcast on there as far as we have a profile. Uh, it is it's for you to meet like-minded people. Say you're going to a park for the first time that you've never been to, but you've been wanting to go. Your friends can't make it. I know we see it on WTF there on Facebook all the time of people going, "Hey, I'm going to this park. Is there a group that I could ride with?" That app facilitates that. That app also facilitates you can post pictures, you can post videos, you can it's
I
Scott said
think
it best when he said it's Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram kind of all rolled into one
I
with.
think that's the coolest thing about it is not only getting people together, but being able to post some content to it. I think that's awesome. And it
Yeah,
just brings another element to the app.
there's rides that are uh there's rides that are planned that can be posted on there. So if somebody posts a ride, say we'll just use Sabine for an example because that's one of our favorite parks. Is somebody goes, "Hey, there's a group of 10 or 15 of us that are going to be riding at Sabine on this date." They can post it on there, and other people can go, "Man, I'm interested in doing that," and they can click, "I'm going to that." I'm going, it rolls it all into one instead of jumping from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and like I said, I've only been messing with it for about a day now, and so far I like it. It's very easy to mess with, so it's something that I'm telling people, hey, if you're looking for another app that's a little more orientated towards us, which it's not just off road, it's boating, it's golf, it's everything, but it's more of an outdoors type person app. Uh, Go check it out. We are, for us being on there, we're also ambassadors. So use code full send for a free trial. And same thing with the Lost Riders app. Jessica and Scott have really got something going between those two apps. And my understanding is Scott's already working on something else too. So we'll see what they got up their sleeve next. And that code full send, that's good for both apps as far as, for a free trial. So I hope if you're listening to this and you're looking for a map app, go check out the Lost Riders app. They have almost all the parks on there. You can track your rides. It's got an SOS feature. If you break, you're out on the trail and you break, you hit SOS. Anybody who's around you that also has that app is getting that notification. So, some help could be on its way.
And seeing that, I think that's a great feature. I know you use the Lost Riders app. We Scott kind of flipped me a little bit of crap because I'm already committed to the Onyx app because I did buy a yearly subscription. But I'm definitely
All
interested
right.
in checking out
That
the.
that's okay. One day you'll come to the better side.
That's kind of where I'm at as far as like using the Lost Riders app. But the joke was going around, originally when they were talking about this extra seat app about it being a dating app. Um, you know,
Um,
uh,
I,
I
people
don't think
people use it
after
for that,
absolutely, and that's
but
all well and fun. And I'm not
it,
taking anything again, but after
people
talking
use
to
Snapchat for that.
absolutely, but after talking to Scott about it, like what their intentions behind the app was, it's wholeheartedly geared towards getting like-minded people grouped together to go out and enjoy whatever they enjoy, whether it's boating, off-road, golfing, so on and so forth. So, and I think
Well,
that's awesome. And then bringing the content piece into it also just
yeah.
gives it another feature. So I don't want people to think, oh well, so and so downloaded this app. They're just thinking about dating, and that's not the case. That's not what this app was geared towards. This app was geared towards to bring everybody together.
Well, and that's it. It's who really, like. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind going off and riding by myself every now and then, but we all know that it's more fun to ride with a group.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, bad stuff happens to me when I go ride by myself. I always break something. So,
Well,
um,
that's the cool thing about this app is and these are things that I just thought of as far as messing around with it is. Yeah, you can make a post on Facebook and go, "Hey, I'm going to this park, looking for a group to ride with." Most of the time, there's a message going, "Oh, we're going that weekend too. You're more than welcome to link up with us," and that's
right,
about as far as it goes. With
right.
this app, you can actually message back and forth on a regular basis and kind of get to know each other because not everybody meshes with everybody. So it's kind of like, all right, well, hey, this person's going. Everybody can kind of chat to each other and see if the group's going to mesh.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great app. Um, I'm excited to see what other features possibly come down the pipeline. I'm excited to see if there's a third app coming. So, yeah,
I didn't
hats
get,
off, hats off to them.
I didn't get really any information other than Scott being Scott, which is I'm working on something, which could mean anything or could mean nothing. But I know that this is something that he really loves and he's working towards. So, and he's on the phone constantly, and I don't envy him one bit.
So, was there anything else that stood out to you?
Um, so I got to talk to Jared over at TTC. Um, everybody knows anybody who knows my talent knows that that's the suspension I run. Got to talk to him about some of the products that he's working on, or that he's refining and making better and better every day. Cool dude to talk to. He showed me the RAM for the hydro steer. I'm super interested in it. It is a complete bolt up kit for the Honda Talon, and Pioneer. He's got a kit for the Pioneer also. So I'm excited for that. He offers it in two different versions, an electric and or a mechanical. So I got to talk to him quite a bit about that, and I'm super excited about that. Adam Brown was there. Um, so I got to see his drive shaft, the cryo heat gears for the internal gear reduction and the subtrans rebuild and stuff like that. So you know me, I'm geared more towards the Talon, so I kind of gravitated more towards those guys. Yeah, just talking to those guys and actually getting to meet them in person versus just emails or just phone calls. It was nice to actually put a face and talk to them.
Yeah, I went and talked to the guys. I'm probably gonna butcher their company name because I'm horrible with names. I believe it was Electric Off Road. They had a booth set up outside one of the hangars. Um, I talked to the marketing guy and one of the sales guys for probably about an hour or so on Friday. Um, they're based out of the Tempe area in Arizona, so they're mostly West Coast guys, so, doing riding stuff like that. But bringing bumpers and steps, tire racks, the the racks for the back of Rangers and Defenders on the back of the cage for loading. You know, us down here would be loading game into the back of your Ranger or Defender. Um, super super cool products. Um, damn good looking front bumpers. I was really
I, I saw
impressed with the front bumpers on them.
I saw the front
Um,
bumpers and I was like, all right, those look pretty good.
even the steps, but they got products for just about every major machine out there. And then being a West Coast company, geared more towards that type of writing and stuff, trying to seeing those products more and more here in the South or even on the East Coast. So I'm interested to see some more of their products and go from there. So
Yeah, walking by their booth, I saw a few of the bumpers and stuff like that, and those looked good and everything. And then, I didn't pay too much attention to the stereo stuff just because that's not high on my list or anything. But there was a booth out there doing Nemesis, and the guy who had his machine built with all that, dude, that sounded great. It did. I don't know anything about that equipment, but the machine itself sounded phenomenal with what he had with the setup that he
mhm.
had. But the other stuff that kind of stood out to me is, yeah, there was a lot of products as far as bumpers, stereo equipment, all your add-ons.
Yep.
So seeing that stuff and seeing people progress with that is
Well, and it
what.
wasn't it wasn't just add-ons. Like you said earlier, you had Adam Brown there with like gear reductions and stuff like that. Turner was there, with their line of products. Um, a couple other companies that that brought not just bolt-ons but upgrades for your machine.
Yeah,
Make it a little bigger, make it a little badder. So, super super cool. We did get to
I
see
know.
an unveil.
Yeah, you shot the video for that, so
Mhm.
hopefully I'll have that edited. I've been trying to edit all day. I'm not good at editing. We all know this by now. I'm on the struggle bus right now. Uh, Trying to get everything converted because some of the files didn't convert correctly, and yeah, hopefully some videos will be coming out over the next couple weeks from PSE. I know a bunch of people have been posting everything on Facebook and stuff, but I'm actually going to did a full walk around. Um, so I'm going to put some couple videos together and get those out and about. That way, people can see that on YouTube and actually look at. You can pause the video and be like, huh, I want to go check these guys out, and then go check out their Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, you and I discussed it on the drive home. Uh, we've been talking about it, and we've kind of done it a little bit here and there. Is radios, as doing what we do, we don't think of radios very often, but we do when we go to the newer mud parks and we do the handhelds, and they're just not loud enough. So we stopped by the Midland booth, checked out what they had. Think we've kind of come up with a setup that's going to work for us. But there were a couple other things, Rugged Radios had their booth up there over there
Mhm.
and checked out some of the stuff that they had. One of the things that stood out to me, and I know we discussed it, and it's not as feasible for us as it would be for others. But that Cardo setup with the wireless, I like it.
Yeah, it don't get me wrong, it's a cool setup. Could we make it work for our situation? Yes.
Well, what I'm getting at is, like I said, after we discussed it with our stereo systems, a headset really doesn't fit us per
Correct.
se. But those who do racing, don't do the big sound systems. Those that do mainly dunes where they're not doing the big sound systems. I know some guys do, but some guys don't, or some people don't. Uh, Rock crawling, for instance, I can see the benefit in that when you're doing King of LB, King of the Hammers, stuff like that. I can see the benefit in the wireless system just because you're not tied to your machine. You can get out, your co-driver can get out, pick a line, and talk to you. And it's
Yeah,
a
no,
standalone. It's a standalone mesh system. You can put up to 15 radios on it, and you're not having to put a base station in your machine. That's what stood out to me.
yeah, no, it's cool. I'm personally not a fan of the headsets.
Well, like I said,
It
when we discussed it, you're like, all right, that does make sense as far as we run sound systems. Having a headset on the whole time kind of defeats the sound system.
correct, and it's just, to me, it's e- even if you went that route and you're not using, if you have the sound, if you have the headset off, it's doing you no good, and that's what we
Right.
kind of talked about. So, it's cool thought. I'm sure it works for a lot of people. It just doesn't fit us. So, I'm more of an old school guy coming from, CB radios from back in the day, and um, I I personally like having the radio in the car. I think that works a little bit better for my needs.
Yeah. So, like I said, we stopped at the Midland booth, had a long conversation with the rep with them, and think we found a setup that's going to work for us. It is a in car base station setup, no headset, external speaker, plenty loud enough to get over. Don't get me wrong. If we've got our stereos absolutely blaring, it might be a little hard to hear, but I mean, you and I both don't just blare our music to blare it.
Right.
So talking to each other, while we're out on the trails shouldn't be too bad of an obstacle
No,
to overcome.
no, and that's just it. Like, you know, it's just personal preference, and that we had talked about that before. So, and then the nice thing about it is like the setups we're talking about is GMRS. So you there's so many different options to run GMRS. So
Right.
it's not just your major competitors like Rugged Radios or Midland or what have you. So, um, and I stopped and talked to the guys over at PCI, and they Midland partners with them to do their in-car comm system. Because that's kind of what they specialize in, and it
Right.
super cool. It just falls back on, I'm not a headset guy. So, I understand if you're racing, that makes sense. But as far as like just your normal run of the mill trail riding and stuff, it doesn't make sense to me. Um, and, everybody that knows me, I'm a fucking cheapskate. So,
Well, this is true.
if I can do things a few dollars cheaper, that's the route I'm going to go. So,
Your video in the background is very
is Barry what?
distracting.
No, that's
I
because
keep wa-
you've never seen a vehicle crawl like that.
You're right, because it's not crawling.
Well, what would you call
Spinning
it?
tires.
It was loose. It was loose.
I'm just
So,
thinking. I
it,
keep catching myself watching it.
anyway, yeah. So no, I had a great time at PSE. I don't have anything bad to say about it. The weather was lovely. It was a little on the warm side, but the weather was good.
No,
Um,
Jason. Once again, I can't say it enough. Jason and Cassie put on, he's after talking to him at OPE the first year we went to OPE, and he was like, "Hey, I got this going on.
I don't
Y'all
remember
are
much
more
of
than."
that conversation. So,
But he was like, "Y'all are more than welcome to come up, check it out, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we'll plan on it." And that very first year, if I'm not mistaken, it was in Kansas City
I think it was in Missouri,
or Missouri. Well, Kansas City, you have Kansas City,
Minnesota.
Kansas City, Missouri. Anyway, we didn't
Anyway,
go to
yeah.
that one.
Nope.
We were once again invited when they moved it to Oklahoma to Muskogee. Unfortunately, life got to happen. Didn't make it last year. Talked to a bunch of people that did go. They're like, "Man, you guys missed out. You need to go check it out." I was dead set on going this year. I made it happen, and I'm so glad I did. They did a
Yeah,
killer
no,
job.
it's definitely
Between
on my list for next year. That's for sure.
between the vendors that they chose to bring in, the racing that they had put on, they brought in Battle of the Builds to do the big tire bounty holes. And then they once again they had their payday racing going on. Now the payday racing, not really my cup of tea. It's once again with all this, it's personal preference, but the crowd seemed to love it, and it brought the racers out, and I'm all for that if that happens. So they did a killer job. I can't say it enough. I'm so excited to go next year. I've already been on the phone talking to a few people on trying to facilitate a little different situation for us. Um, so we may or may not have a booth next year. I'm in the process of trying to wiggle that around and see about actually doing something and and having somewhere for us to set up and meet everybody instead of just roaming around.
Yeah, because there was a couple of times where me and you kind of went our different ways,
Yeah,
because
100%.
there's different stuff that I'm interested in. There's different stuff that you're interested in, and you know, disappear and go each other's ways for an hour or two, and then kind of meet back up. I was like, all right, well, what booth did you go see? Oh, well, we need to go over and talk to these people at this booth, or vice versa. Whatever, I kind of looked at it. It was like I wanted to go through and see. I wanted to walk through and see what was there. That was my main mission on day one, was to go through and see what what was there. And then the second day was to go through. I was like, all right, these are the people that I want to. These are the products that I want to stop and talk to people about.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and
100%.
you have a different outlook on that because there's different products that piqued your interest.
Yes.
Um,
Well, and
so
you're the one who brought up, maybe next year we do a booth, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Uh, the more and more I think about it, I can see from the content aspect of it, how it can be beneficial. Because we're not really a products podcast. Although I have been putting together some designs. We're hoping to have some hats and shirts for sale soon. So if anybody's interested, please leave comments, DM us directly on Facebook, stuff like that. Make comments on Facebook, message us, email, whatever. Let us know if that's something you guys would be interested in getting some merch, because it would help us out by doing that. It's just not at the top of my list. We're not a clothing company, so that's not something I'm pushing
no, and
towards.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I'm going to leave that to the professionals. Trashy
Yeah.
Inc.
Yep. 100%.
Thug Nasty Off Road. I'm going to
Yep.
leave that to those guys.
That's them.
No, and us, we just like look, and that was the goal from the get go with this whole situation. Was we wanted to talk about the things that we love,
Yep.
and somebody gets a kick out of it. Great. If you don't like what we do, that's fine too. I'm not going to hold it against anybody.
Click next.
I'm more than willing to have a conversation with somebody. You know, um, but in the same breath too, you know, we do this out of our own pocket. We try to go to these deals on our own. own dime. We don't want somebody to pay for this. We do this
No.
because we love this.
Yep.
And
This is not a money making venture. This is something we just do.
and if somebody gets enjoyment out of it, or is able to hear about a new product that we talked about, that's great. That's the only thing that we wanted out of this.
Yep.
So I that's all I've ever wanted with my involvement in the off-road community, was to share my
Progress
love
the industry.
for off share my love for the off-road industry with people that might not know about it, you know. So and I've been that way for, gosh, 30 years now, 30 plus years now. You know, I started wheeling before I even had a driver's license. So,
Same. I don't know how many. Not saying I did anything illegal, but it's not. But I did. Yeah, I don't know how many times driving to the trail, no license, just to go wheel.
yeah, and it's one of those things that we grew up around it, whether it was Jeeps or Broncos or dirt bikes or four-wheelers or now side-by-sides. We wanted to be outdoors on the trail. And
Yep.
that's really what it boiled down to. Um, I
Much
like getting
happier on the
lost.
trail than in a house.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's my whole goal when I go out, is I want to get lost.
But
I
so,
say it all the time. I want to get lost.
yeah. Why do you think I hate following you? Uh, but what I the whole spiel I was getting at was, where I see it could benefit us having a booth is, instead of us going and trying to talk to people when they're at their booth and they're trying to do their business, which I feel like when I go talk to them, I'm kind of cutting into their time. We could then go talk to them and be like, hey, if you get a spare minute, you want to come back to our booth and we could do an interview there, so on and so forth. Like, we could, to me, having a booth there could benefit us.
Uh, Absolutely, it could benefit, but after talking to a bunch of people at PSE, this past weekend, was everybody was super, super accommodating,
No, no,
I
no, no.
think.
I'm not. I don't make it sound like that. As far as like,
No, and that's not what I'm getting at. Is
it's
they
like,
wanted to talk. They wanted to talk, and
right, right. But at the same,
that's what's super cool about it. That's what's super cool about the majority of the people in this industry,
well,
is that they want to talk and conversate.
what I'm getting at is I've got a certain time frame that I'm trying to work with. So when I'm swinging by their booth and I'm like, "Hey, you got a minute?" And yeah, 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 and then 5, 10 people show up to buy their products, I don't want to take away from their possibility of making money.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
absolutely. I get what you're saying. So,
So if I'm taking their time up because I just want to get some content, it's taking money out of their pocket, because
right.
we all know this. Not everybody's going to stand there and wait 15, 20 minutes. They're going to go, we'll come back later, and then they may not. So it's like I said, I can see a benefit of having a booth, and then maybe just making those contacts and be like, hey, we're going to be here for the next 2 days. If you can spare 5, 10 minutes, come over to our booth. We'll have a quick conversation, or we can do it at their booth. It's up to them. But it just gives another option.
Right.
So but like I said, it's not a guarantee. It's just something that I'm kind of
Kicking
working on.
around.
I've already, yeah, yeah. Well, I've already talked to a couple companies that didn't go this year, that wanted to go check it out, and talking to them, they're interested in going. And like I said, I just talked to them, so they're possibly interested in doing something like a joint venture. And it's nothing I
Okay.
really want to discuss on air, so that's something you and I can discuss off air.
Oh, whatever. It don't
So,
matter to me none. So
But no, like I said, I was thoroughly impressed with the whole event. The racing and all, and the vendors. Uh, Jason and Cassie put on. They had band. The Saturday was it Friday night. Friday night they had a band and a
mhm.
DJ for the
Yep.
after party. They had plenty of stuff for kids. You brought up the posters. They did a multiple places. What was it? Where to ride?
Yep.
They had a bingo going on.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
watching the kids run around with the vendor list and getting all the vendors to sign off, like almost like a scavenger hunt,
yep,
was kind of cool. Like I don't know how many times like I was standing there talking to somebody about products or what have you, and kids runs up, "Hey, can you sign this? Can you sign this?" Which is super super cool because it keeps the kids involved too.
yep,
And then
100%.
they did the multiple meet and greets
Hmm.
with all the racers. I think that's awesome too. Um, and then not only that, before even the meet and greets, you had racers taking pictures and signing merch for the kids also on top of that. So I think that's awesome.
Yep. It was great. To see everybody interacting with the crowds and stuff like that. Just Melissa, Melissa likes to put it. She's like, I like the people watch, and she enjoyed people watching.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you want to people watch, it's always a good time to people watch too, But in the same breath, I had a couple of random people just walk up to me, "Hey, is this your buggy?" "No, I'm just a kind of a spectator like you, just checking stuff out, and you just end up striking up a conversation and having a 10-15 minute conversation with this just a total stranger. And
Yep.
that's like that when you go to these parks, you be standing there waiting for food or what have you, and you just end up having a random conversation with somebody. And I think that's really, really awesome.
Yeah. Well, look what happened when we were on our way up. We stopped at In-N-Out Burger in Waco, and yeah, Waco, and
Yeah.
dude there at the counter was like, "Oh, what's your podcast? I'll have to check it out." Like, he just struck up a conversation because he
Yeah,
likes the
no.
off road industry and he likes to get out and ride his 4-wheeler and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And seeing stuff like that just kind of shows me like, hey, I'm in the right industry.
yeah, 100%.
This is an industry that I want to be part of.
Yep. Uh, no argument for me on that end.
So, but
You and I have
overall is,
disagreements, but we agree with a few things.
oh yeah, absolutely. And it just, like I said, hats off to Jason and Cassie with OPE, or excuse me, PSE.
Oh, you did it. I did it. I
I
did it.
I did it. With PSE is a great show. I can't wait for the next one. And I hope it's bigger and badder for the next one.
I struck up a conversation with Shane with OPE. You said OPE.
Hmm. Yep.
Shane with OPE was there. Promoting his show. Just like he allows Jason to come to his show and promote
Yep.
PSE. He said, they've got some things in the works, and that's something I missed this past year, but I would like to go to OPE again. Uh, so I'm excited. These expos aren't. I don't know how to. I don't know how to explain it. They're not. I'm glad to see it aimed towards us, but they're not exclusive to us.
No, no, by no means. They're not exclusive to us.
Well, so what
Um,
I mean is yeah, you go to these expos, and yeah, a lot of it is side by sides, 4-wheelers, but there's a lot of these companies also dabble in boating. They dabble in overlanding, camping, stuff like that. So if even if you don't do off roading, come to these expos anyway, because the products that you see, the people that you meet, they're just like you. They golf, they go fishing, they go hunting. So a lot of the products are not exclusive to mudding or rock crawling or running dunes. They are meant for everybody.
well, no, and that's just it. There was a little bit of everything. There was booth set up that they were doing dirt bike stuff. You know,
Yep.
me and you, we don't deal with dirt bikes. You know, but it's still cool to see there. You know,
Not gonna
the
lie,
light the
I
lights for
kind
the
of want.
coolers.
Yep, I bought one.
You know, shower in a box.
Yep.
I guess that's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, the outdoor camping shower.
Yeah, the outdoor
That
camping shower. That's a better way to describe it. I just said shower in a box. So,
yeah.
but that's pretty much what it is. You know, it's a portable camping shower.
Yep.
So and then you
And
had
we had a 15-minute conversation, 20-minute conversation with that guy.
yeah, I walked
Because
off and was doing other stuff, but that's
well, I see the benefit into the off-road industry. It's not just for camping; it's also for us that I use a box trailer instead of an actual RV.
right.
If you tent camp at a lot of these events, which a lot of people do, a lot of people go to these parks and
Yeah,
they
if you
tent
tent
camp
camp,
because
that works for you because you can have your own shower.
100%. So like, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is these products are not just aimed at the 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 racers. They're not just aimed at those of us who exclusively go to mud parks. They are for everybody.
Right.
If you're that person that likes to load up and go to Colorado and go backcountry trekking, overlanding, stuff like that, they have products for you. They have products for you if you just like to go camping. You know, I think I saw quite a few vehicles out there. The companies had their personal trucks out there that were set up for overlanding. And
Yeah.
having conversations with them, they're like, "Oh yeah, we do these products too. We do these products also." So going to these expos is great for the industry in general.
If you are an outdoors person,
Outdoor enthusiasts.
yeah, these expos are right up your alley. So, and
I do want
I
one of
think
those electric little pit bikes.
the electric pit bike or the electric
Yeah,
scooter.
the electric pit bike. The little dirt bikes that were outside.
Mm-hmm.
Those all electric.
Well, you did see the electric three wheeler, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah, I
that's
saw
what I
that
was eyeballing. That's
I
what I
saw
was
that at Oak.
eyeballing.
Yeah, I saw that at Oak.
So, no, and that's just it. Like it was a great show.
Yep, 100%.
And I would definitely like to go see more of them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. And to get back to the races, they brought in Battle of the Builds to put on a show. Uh, Invitation only. They brought the big dogs out. It was great weather for racing. Don't get
mhm.
me wrong, a little hot, a little warm, but overall great weather for racing. The holes were the track. I liked the track. The track was fast.
Yes,
Um,
it was a fast track.
it was exciting for the crowd to watch. I know there's already pictures and video floating around Facebook of Nightmare and Chase's new machine. Chase, forgive me, I don't know the name.
Gold
Uh,
blooded.
that's it, Gold Blooded, and those two are rowdy. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, on Snapchat, Chase posted a picture. He did a test hit today, and he stood it up again.
Yeah. Like watching both of those machines come out of where they were staged for the meet and greet, getting ready to do the big parade before the race.
Oh,
Like just
Jamie's got a rowdy machine with Nightmare.
hearing them come out of the hangar. Because that's the first time I've seen both of those machines in person.
Uh, uh, so Gold Blooded, I think that's the first time anybody's seen that machine.
Correct. Um, and
And
that's the first
I
time I
love
got to.
this. I love the styling of it. It just looks menacing sitting there.
And then the first time getting to see Nightmare, like, and hear them, you can definitely tell some work has been done.
Oh yeah,
Um, and that's not. I'm not trying to take anything away from any of the other racers because I know they put in hours and tons of money. Um, but those two machines were both on a mission.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. Jamie's got a rowdy machine with Nightmare, uh, and then Chase's new machine. That thing's, it looks good. It sounds good. It's I'm excited to see it more. It being the first race, it looked like he had a few hiccups here and there, but that thing, it's going to be a little bit of a force to reckon with.
yeah, absolutely. So,
So,
uh,
well, on that case, we're going to go ahead and make sure we give a shout out to those of you and the companies that have helped us along the way to let this happen. Trashy Inc., of course, Cabo and Trey, uh, they've been supporters of the podcast from day one. Um,
mhm.
we always like to give them a shout out. KB Longhorn Welding, 361 Racing, Dale's Fun Center, um, here in Victoria, Texas. They were supporters for us from day one. So, we always like to give them a shout out. Um, Once again, we're ambassadors for Lost Riders and the Extra Seat app. Make sure to go check them out. Use code Full Send for your free trial. Um, Chance with Stay Too Deep. He's been a supporter of the podcast. Make sure to go check out his stuff on YouTube, um, and follow him on Facebook. He was out there helping with Battle of the Builds this weekend. Uh, he's the, well, not anymore, but he used to have that big old 800 razor. So he got rid of that, and he's got something new in the works. And then Anthony and Kelly over at Elite Power Sports, they've always supported us, and we support them, especially with Anthony's racing of Rougarou. And if you ever need any work done on a machine and you're in the Watson, Louisiana area, check out Elite Power Sports. Triage Garage, Alan and Angel Booty, we appreciate them so much, allowing us to come out and get footage at Battle of the Builds and the hospitality that they give us. So if you're ever in their area, uh, forgive me. I know it's.
The Faraday.
Are they in Faraday?
I
I
don't
know that's
know.
where Junior
I'm
is
asking
around.
you.
Oh, yeah. They are in Louisiana. They're right there on the across the river from Natchez.
Let me look it
So,
up. Go
yep.
ahead, keep
Go
on
ahead,
going, dog.
because I'm horrible with that. But if you need some work done, and I tell you what, Triage builds some of the baddest machines out there. Iron Man, Gladiator back in the day, and if you ever watched that Discovery Channel Mud Madness, High Horse in the first season, Randy Alicia drove that machine. They are the ones who built that. So,
Faraday.
it is Verde.
It is Faraday.
I told you I'm horrible with some of that stuff. Uh, they over at Triage, that Alan and Angel are some of the nicest people you'll meet. So we cannot thank them enough for allowing us to do what we do when we come to their events. So, um, we want to make sure that we give them a shout out also. Now, that being said, make sure you still go, if you made it this far, like this video, share it, subscribe if you feel the urge. Not going to force you. Can't twist your arm through the TV, whatever.
It's free. It's
It,
free.
it is free and it helps us
It's
out.
free.
Go check us out on Spotify, and pretty much anywhere you can get your podcasts. I know we're not the best out there, but we enjoy ourselves, and hopefully you enjoy what we're doing. Um, Man, we can keep talking about PSE or what? Any plans coming up here?
Baseball game in a couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, but
As far as like
uh,
off-roading goes, honestly, no. Back to the daily grind.
yeah.
That's pretty much where I'm at.
My machine is still down. Got to get that finished, getting that fixed up. Uh, and then I do. I don't have anything planned. I know we're gonna do some little rides here and there over to our local park, but as far as like events and stuff like that, I don't have anything planned until possibly Elton Road for Battle of the Builds, maybe, and that's in July. But that's a maybe. So that being said, um, and what else? What haven't
That's
really
pretty
done
much
much.
it.
My machine's been down since since I got back from the last Battle of the Builds at Sabine. Found some broken parts.
Well, it's not broke anymore. Now, whether it's put back together is a whole nother story.
Well,
It's
um,
fixed, just not put back together yet, as far as I
it's
know.
repaired. So, but all right. Well, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it on that. We appreciate everybody listening, and make sure to go like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, the interwebs stuff. And I got to get back to editing.
Good luck with
That's
that.
the best part of my day. I
He's
hate
full
it.
of shit.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Not any good at it. I get frustrated. So,
Anyhow.
anyway. All right. Adios. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Bye.